Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2. It's a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. We have another Aaron Rodgers sighting, and this time he does a little more talking about football than he did on the Joe Rogan podcast. He goes to a concert, and a young fan asks him a question. So let's jump right in. There's a team that might play in Chicago this year. Aaron Rodgers drops a hint about future. Let's let the young fan ask him herself.
Where will Aaron Rodgers ever go to the Bears?
Oh boy. Security, can we get her out of here? I need some security. Security,
can you take it easy on her on this one?
No, but I believe there's a team that might play in Chicago this year.
Oh, yeah.
On a road trip. I don't know. I'm not sure. Gotta check it out.
Are you speaking in code? I
love Chicago, though. Way more than they love me. It's been a great relationship, all one way.
All the Aaron Rodgers haters are going to be going crazy now. He's arrogant. He's this, he's that, because he owns Chicago, which he does. I mean, it's undeniable that he owns Chicago and pretty much half of the division that he used to play in for the Green Bay Packers. But, I love this because it just drives all the Aaron Rodgers haters into a frenzy. It's like a big melting pot of he's arrogant. He thinks the world revolves around him. Aaron Rodgers is not allowed to have any fun. He should be at home in the corner, crying on the phone. That's what happened yesterday when Aaron Rodgers went on the Joe Rogan podcast. And because Aaron Rodgers has a sense of humor and he's like California cool and laid back and he drops subtle hints here or there, it's like everybody loses their mind. He's a bad person. If this is arrogant, if you call Aaron Rodgers arrogant compared to racist Ryan Clark and all the idiots on ESPN, and that's not arrogant, I can't help you. I can't help you if you have a mental disorder of hate for a human being for absolutely no reason, because that's what it is. There you have it. Aaron Rodgers is living life, and he's not balled up in the corner somewhere with empty bottles of wine on the floor or in a deep tunnel trying to figure out his depression or whatever he has going on. So all the Steelers fans that can't stand him, and just Steelers fans in general, will go absolutely crazy because he's taking his time making his decision. Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, and when he is a Pittsburgh Steeler, we all know we will be celebrating because we are headed to the Super Bowl. So NFL schedule maker Mike North, he admits the one game we probably did kind of pay just a touch of extra attention was to the Packers game, he acknowledged. Obviously, if Aaron Rodgers is playing quarterback for the Steelers, this would be the first time he's playing against the Packers since he left. And that's probably not a game that would belong at 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, available in 15 or 20% of the country. Yeah, it should be on prime time. Aaron Rodgers is bringing excitement to the Pittsburgh Steelers and to the NFL if he plays. All of these people claiming that he's washed up and this and that. Obviously, you don't pay attention to statistics because he is far from being washed up, and he's going to bring the Pittsburgh Steelers to the Super Bowl. Listen, the schedule makers have inside scoops. They have inside ears. They know that Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Aaron Rodgers will be a Pittsburgh Steeler in 2025. He also went on to say, if we knew today that Aaron Rodgers was playing for the Steelers, I'm not sure we would have had the restraint to schedule the Steelers for a 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon of week 1, he said. I imagine he and the team would be in a primetime window. Of course they would. Everybody that's saying that Aaron Rodgers isn't good for the NFL and isn't good for the league, you're an absolute liar. It has nothing to do with football or production whatsoever. I want you all to remember one thing. Back in the day, Ronnie Lott, one of the greatest players to ever put on a helmet and shoulder pads, he finished his career with the Jets. And when he got to the Jets, he was the leading tackler. He had a phenomenal season because they've been the worst organization in all of football for the last 40 to 50 years. Trying to judge Aaron Rodgers because of his last year on the Jets with an Achilles tear, with an organization that's absolutely horrendous, is like downright laughable. He still puts up 28 touchdowns. He still throws for more yards than Josh Allen. When he comes to the Steelers, and we have the defense that we have, and we have an improving offensive line and running game and excellent special teams, we are headed to the Super Bowl. This will be the last thing I say about Aaron Rodgers, and then we'll move on. Aaron Rodgers might wait until minicamp to make it official, what Steelers beat writer says. It now appears the Aaron Rodgers saga is at long last approaching its final twists and turns. Mike Prista wrote for the Pittsburgh Magazine. He referenced Packers head coach Matt LaFleur expressing confidence he would sign potentially soon. I'm guessing others around the NFL are sharing similar sentiment. Presta wrote, I also suspect Rodgers might wait until as late as the opening of mandatory veteran minicamp on June 10th to make it official. You know, Aaron Rodgers likes to have fun with people that just criticize him and mock him and and just make up stories and lies about him. And he knows that this is driving people crazy. It's the only people that it's not driving crazy is Coach Tomlin, Omar Khan, and Art Rooney, because they already know what's going on behind the scenes. So when the media takes a false narrative and they just run with it, how Aaron Rodgers, racist Ryan Clark and woke ESPN, Aaron Rodgers is arrogant, he's holding the Steelers hostage, and they say all these negative things. You know what Aaron Rodgers does? He just lets it go. You know why he lets it go? Because he just lets them irritate themselves, and he makes a mockery and a fool out of themselves by speaking on something that they have no clue about. Aaron Rodgers, again, even if he decides not to play for the Steelers, he's been totally upfront about it from the very beginning, how much time he's going to take, what's going on in his family. And if I was Aaron Rodgers, I'd do the same thing. I'd be like, you know what? I don't give a F what anybody says. Think whatever you want, say whatever you want. And now, just to like push your buttons a little bit, I'm not going to say anything until I want to say something, until you don't think that he told Coach Tomlin and Art Rooney, hey, I'll let you know by this date in June. The Steelers are perfectly set. Everybody's hitting the panic mode. They're hitting the panic mode. We have Mason Rudolph, we have Will Howard, and we have the other guy. I forget his name. Doesn't really even matter. If Aaron Rodgers signs, if he signs, great. If he doesn't, they know what they're doing. The ship is not sinking. And if I was Aaron Rodgers, I would do the same. All right, everybody wants to talk negatively about me. Before this gets lost in the translation, Aaron Rodgers said he'd play for $10 million. He's not going to come in. He's not going to give him a hard time about the contract. He's going to do the right thing. But that never gets talked about. Of course, that never gets talked about because that would make him look like a good, decent person that he is. So if I'm him and everybody's saying negative things about me, I would just ignore it too and take my time and do what I said I was going to do. If you don't like it, go scratch. Racist Ryan Clark, he shouldn't even have a job at ESPN. All the Aaron Rodgers hate, it starts at ESPN with the clown show Stephen A. Smith, racist Ryan Clark, and the rest of the race baiters on ESPN. Let them say whatever they want. The only thing that concerns me is the Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and I'm just telling you guys, you need to calm down. I understand your concern. We have a plan. I want Aaron Rodgers to sign. Some Steelers fans don't. But with that being said, even if he doesn't, Coach Tomlin, the Steelers organization, we have a plan. Stop saying we don't have a plan. That's not true. There's also been some speculation that Aaron Rodgers has talked about calling his own plays for the Steelers. I mean, I don't know if they'll ever give him that much control, but let's just say hypothetically they did. You don't think that he has a better feel for the game than the offensive coordinator, that he doesn't know what's going on with all the time he played in the league? He absolutely did. And why wouldn't you? Coach Tomlin is not known for creating quarterbacks or, pushing quarterbacks into a phenomenal type of play. If I'm Coach Tomlin, I would say, you know what, Aaron? I just want you to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. If you want to call the plays, knock yourself out, but you're going to deal with the consequences of that if it doesn't go wrong. Every time they ask me if something goes wrong, I'm like, well, I let Aaron Rodgers call the plays. No big deal. No harm fouled. I'm all for it. They should let Aaron Rodgers call the plays. Big Ben wants to know if Steelers fans will cheer or boo Kenny Pickett in Pittsburgh return. Oh my God, Ben, I'm not even going to read this. Let's be serious. Ben went on to say, if Kenny comes in, does he get booed or cheered? He asked on his football and podcast. I think cheered. Give me a break, Ben. The type of person that Kenny Pickett is, he deserves every boo he gets every time he steps on the field. Kenny Pickett didn't want to be part of the Pittsburgh Steelers because Coach Tomlin told him, we're bringing in competition to make you compete for the job. And Kenny Pickett, what did he do? I want to be traded. They lied to me. I cannot stand that attitude. The best thing that the Pittsburgh Steelers ever did was say, you know what? We're not wasting another second, a minute of our time with the softest man in the NFL, Kenny Pickett. You know, the same guy that's missed multiple games because of bone bruises. Not breaks, not fractures, not sprain. sprains. He had a bruise and he missed multiple games. You don't believe me? Check the injury reports. Not only is Kenny Pickett fragile physically, he's fragile mentally. I am so glad he's not a Pittsburgh Steeler anymore. He is one of the worst draft picks ever that the Pittsburgh Steelers have ever made. I'd put it probably in like the top 3. And his attitude is absolutely atrocious. Oh, you wanted to be, let's get this straight. Kenny Pickett wanted to be traded because he had to fight and compete for his job. That's not the Steeler way. Kenny Pickett deserves nothing but booze. So give it a rest, Ben. Let's get serious. And this is the big question. I'm going to end it with this. This is the big question. Troy Fautanu coming back from injury. Is he going to be that guy? Is he going to be a 12-year player at offensive tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Be that dominant offensive tackle that every single team in the league needs? Ross Tucker went on to say it was a bummer that Fautanu got hurt last year. I love that dude. Tucker said of the Steelers' 2024 first-round draft pick. Watching his college tape, he was slicing and dicing guys. I can't wait to watch him. I actually thought Mason McCormick did some really good things last year as a 4th-round pick. That seems like a home run pick. Absolutely, Mason McCormick played excellent. And Troy Fautanu, if Troy Fautanu doesn't work out, let's just say hype, I want him to. I love his personality. I love his attitude. I love his grit. I love his game film. But let's just say it doesn't work out. And you saw that the Steelers passed on Cooper DeJean. Without Cooper DeJean in the lineup for the Philadelphia Eagles, they don't win the Super Bowl. And I'm not just talking about the interception that he had. When Cooper DeJean, the Eagles were struggling during the season, and they inserted Cooper DeJean into the lineup to handle the middle of the field. All of a sudden, the Philadelphia Eagles went from being a good team and might be going to the Super Bowl to being a phenomenal team and winning the Super Bowl. And we all saw what happened in the Super Bowl when he picked it off and ran it in for a touchdown. He brings Cooper DeJean went in the 2nd round, and I thought for sure the Steelers were going to take Cooper DeJean because we were hurting at cornerback. No, we took Troy Fautanu, and I don't have a problem with that. You always need, exceptional studs at offensive line, so you can never complain when you get this. If it works out and he's your franchise offensive tackle for 12 years, it's a success. We need his physicality. From all reports that I have read, Troy Fautanu, you could see it the first week of practice. Hands down, he was the best offensive lineman on the team. And let's just hope that's what he turns into for a very long time. Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2.